Okay. Peggy Hall did that video that I was criticizing yesterday. I know I'm coming off quite harsh on people. Um, Hang on a minute. I know this, that came off harshly, but if you're sucking people for money and advertising what you do, and your sponsor is the same as Kirk's sponsor, I'm sorry, I'm going to call red flag. It's just that's it. That's happening. Um, okay, there I said it. Um, because I don't know if she's controlled ops or not because of that and because of her over self promotion to the point of annoying. Now, one of the girls or guys, gals, people on my other channel, on the Some Girls channel, told me that she could not listen to my video because Peggy Hall's voice was so annoying. People probably feel the same way about me, but she does sound that she sounded like an AI bot, and I'll go ahead and agree with that. Okay, so we have this Alexis Wilkins character. Now, I don't know what her singing is, but I know that I'm sure that I would not like it. It's not my style. I'm much more into the music well, that was coming out. I mean, you guys know this. I mean, in the late 60s and pretty much throughout the 70s, as um, even like rock and roll became even more kind of jangly and garage-y. I mean, the top rockers like the Stones' Some Girls album of 1978, I believe. I bought it when it was first hit the shelves, and I have people tell me I don't have the original version, but I do because the original version was not color, it was white. I've been in this controversy, but I have the full thing, with Lonnie Anderson and Liza Minnelli, and I have the full spiel. It's still in listenable condition, as long as you have a good, keep your stylist fresh, stylus, your needle, you keep everything clean and dust free, it'll be okay. You can even just, okay, so what I'm trying, I was just going to tell you, you could even use like soapy water. Well, I mean, you have to be really careful. Everything needs to be perfectly clean. You cleaned out every last oil residue with isopropyl alcohol. And you can, rinse those underwater or get a sink full of soapy water. Like I said, absolutely pristine, and then rinse them and then lay them out and then polish them dry with a white cotton, 100% cotton dish towel. I've done it. It works. So there you go. But as, stuff became a little more kind of punkish and edgy, I was very much into that. The stuff that was coming out of LA, the Tubes, the Knack, even. It was real fast paced, like Cheap Trick, even. You know, was kind of different than. So I know, I'm sorry. And I mean, the Stones are my favorite band, so I don't like Ron Wood. So no, I have no interest in country music. I think it is horrific. The music industry today is an absolute joke. I know that this Alexis Wilkins, I can tell you this much about her. It's the usual standard face, the long hair. It's the same hairstyle. Um, the fake brows, fake lashes, lip injections, Botox, veneers, boob job with your cleavage showing. It's I don't find it to be particularly stylish or classy, but you know, can you imagine? I don't know. I don't know. Like even it's I don't know. I mean, do I wear makeup? Yes. Do I do skincare? Yes. Do I like spend a half hour a day scrubbing my teeth and putting mineral powder on them and whitening powder and yeah, or whitening stuff and yeah, I do. Therefore, no, I don't believe I need veneers. Although I did get a partial chip on one of my teeth in my accident, but I don't think anyone notices it. I look at it with a 30 times a magnifying mirror. So, is it 30? 20. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm overly, crazy about it. But no, I don't want to look like that. I was going to share a picture um, of my brother and I in New York City. I don't know if I will or not. I just found it. I didn't even know I had it. Someone took it. I absolutely, I told him I just don't want any pictures, but you don't see my, you know, injury area. So it looks halfway okay. Um, well, it looks pretty normal given the fact that I was kind of having a rough time getting around on crutches, but I did. And, like I said, I took the subway and shit. Um, I'm not about to let some bitch ruin my life. Let's just put it that way. Okay, we're done with that. So that's how I am. And, well, let me see what else. Hmm. So all this overly made up stuff with, and it's just not for me. But it seems to be popular in Washington, D.C. right now, which I find to be just really revolting. Um, I was watching an interview with Marianne Faithful that came up, and she was really pretty, but her background is crazy too. I mean, she comes from, well, her father was Army Intel or British intelligence officer. Go figure. Okay, so, but let's continue on with this one. So, who is Kash Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Wilkins? I think she's 26. I mean, I don't know. How old, what is the age difference there? How old is Patel? Oh, God, I can't believe, it's just, and try finding, honestly, it used to just pop up. How old is Kash Patel? The latest on Yandex AI is that when I ask questions like that, it's like, we design our AI to be safe. All right. Because you can't get a straight, I can't, I can't get, how old is he? Suitable. He's 45. Okay. I mean, this is a little bit out of control. This has been in the last like 2 weeks. It's driving me crazy. Okay. 26. Okay. So yeah, there's a large age difference there. Almost 20 years. That is just bizarre. I'm sorry. It really is. Let's go back to the article. I mean, when I was 26, I would not have gone out with a 45-year-old dude. On the other hand, maybe I would have. I was mainly, I was with guys at most 4 or 5 years older than me. 4, 5 tops. That were, regular friends that I, knew. And, it was fine. I still know all those guys anyway, a lot of them anyway. So, but I mean, 20 years, there's something that's up with that then. That seems more like an arrangement. Or why can't he find someone suitable to date in his own age group? And why hasn't he been married? So I don't believe that he has ever. I believe that he is gay. Like I think Kirk was gay too. All right, here we go. Alexis Wilkins, a Zionist handler. I don't know. Maybe. Who is Kash Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Wilkins? Could she have been assigned to Patel by Zionist cartel? This is not my. I don't know who Helena Glass is. Alexis. Well, when you have a president that stands in the Knesset and starts drooling all over the Israeli flag, it is a little bit disconcerting, and talks about how he's given billions and billions and billions of dollars, while there are people here that are like, "Hello, you didn't say you were going to do this." MAGA, right? Which is why I say it's dead. I think his intentions were good, but this is a disaster. Alexis claims her parents were Gabe and Ansley. He worked for Gillette overseas, and her mother worked in big pharma. Meaning what? Was she a researcher, a developer? Was she like another Dr. Fauci? Was she sitting in some biolab somewhere? Was she a chemist? Was she a lobbyist? Was she a drug rep? Managing a territory. I don't know. What did he do for Gillette? Gillette has a large product line, which is quite frankly if I'm not mistaken, part of Procter and Gamble right now. I would never buy. The only Gillette product I buy is like some shaving gel for my legs, and that's it. I mean, who owns Gillette? I mean, you have to do it, right? I mean, isn't that P&G? I don't know. And she's only 26, so it's a brand, Procter and Gamble. So you see what I'm saying? So he worked for Procter and Gamble, which is a huge multinational company. You see what I'm saying? So he sold razors and shaving cream. No, he worked for Procter and Gamble. Well, Procter and Gamble merged in 2005. If she's 26, I mean, like, I would assume when she was born, he was working for Procter and Gamble, or was he working for Gillette? Gillette was based in Boston. You know, I'm pretty P&G owns everything, and they have the stupidest ads on TV all the time. And I believe that they are getting a tax write-off because they make things like, okay, Arm and Hammer Free and Clear or something, laundry detergent. Is your skin dry? Dermatologists recommend this. So once they tie the doctor in the right, and yeah, it's all. I think it's very sleazy shit. It's how these people roll. This shit really was going strong after Obama took office. I know 2005 W was in office. I'm aware of that. Yeah, you didn't see these big, huge crony capitalist takeovers like just going like boom, boom, boom. And I mean, it's just boom. Like within like the first year, you're like, oh my God. By 2010, it was like the destruction was well on its way. But that's okay because he was black. And then all of a sudden, at the end of his term, people were like, what the fuck happened here? This is no good. In 2016. All right. Just saying. Her mother worked in big pharma. Gillette overseas. What does that mean? Where overseas? In Europe? In Dubai? Oh my God. Yeah. Her mother worked in big pharma. Okay. So she's rich. As a little girl, I know people that were in rep groups selling. I think they were device reps, or one of them could have been in big pharma, and they had so much money they built a huge house out in the burbs and hired a nanny. But they were just so like out there and not really in touch, and they weren't very down to earth people. But whatever, okay. They moved to Arkansas when Alexis was 9. Okay. I know I'm not doing the math properly in my head then. Am I? No, I'm not. Oh, I don't know. When she was 9, what year was this chick born in? 26 years old. Okay. So, okay, I'm sorry. So he sold razors overseas and then moved to Arkansas when Alexis was 9 and her father bought a mine and became quite wealthy. What the fuck? You don't just buy a mine. What the fuck? I mean, there's so much research that what kind of a mine? Coal? Okay. I don't know. Okay. That's just so vague. That's the extent of information. It appears to be more than a bit vague. Yeah. Sam Parker. Credit Sam Parker. Helena Substack is a reader-supported publication to receive. Okay, whatever. There is no Gabe Wilkins, her father in Arkansas. There is no Ainsley Wilkins. Ainsley Earhart. Fox News. Uh, Ainsley. What kind of a name is that? Why am I that out of it? Her mother in Arkansas. There is no record of a Gabe Wilkins owning a mine. There is no mine associated with that name. In fact, there is no record of either of her parents at all. Alexis claims her family fled the Armenian genocide, which occurred during World War I in 1915. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, she was plucked. Alexis claims her father served in the Navy during the Korean War. What? He would have been too young. I'm speechless. That would have been in like 1950. How old was he when he had her? No, my dad was in the Korean War. I have pictures of him there. That's bullshit. What? What was he like? Oh my God. So he'd be dead then, or it could be. My dad was 19 when he went over there. He got married when he was 23. This doesn't make sense. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm just trying to figure this out. How was she conceived? Unless he, I mean, what? Okay, I don't know how to cope with this one. There's exactly one Wilkins listed in the Navy military. Charles W. Wilkins, he became a rear admiral and served in World War II and the Korean War, born in 1902. Not exactly childbearing age for Alexis, born in 1999 at the ripe age of 97. This is what I'm saying. This doesn't make a bit of sense. So maybe that was her great grandfather and she is confused. Unfortunately, this Wilkins was one of German and Dutch ancestry, not Armenian. Yeah, that is weird. This is her story? Hang on a minute. Let's see if I have something here. Oh, I have to stand up anyway. Oh, rats. I'm just looking for something really quick. Okay. Ha! All right, so my grandmother on my dad's side was born in 1903, and I believe, frankly, so was my mom's mother. This is such bullshit, you guys. I'm fucking crazy. Okay. It would have had to have been her great grandfather. Unfortunately, okay, this Wilkins was not Armenian. Okay. Wow. Wow, she is whoo. Hang on a minute. Oh, this one's a doozy. This is about as sketchy as Dan Bongino's background, Barack Obama's background. It's worse than Obama. And this is, I'm doing this one for Peggy because all she did was show a clip of a Megyn Kelly interview, and that was her bombshell. Oh, and that she was wearing two different fabrics and flashed some weird Masonic sign when she was singing a song at yet another fundraiser for what I deem to be a money laundering operation, which is Toilet Paper USA. Toilet Paper America. I don't know where the hell. Well, I'll repeat it. What we do have is a very young, then 23-year-old who claims to be a devout Christian. Oh, not this again. I tell you, this religious stuff is. Oh my, Colleen, it's so dumb. Okay, so I don't have to pretend, my Catholicism. They threw a couple of people that they claimed to have been converted into Catholicism, but I was in a really awesome fight with Grok last night. Not a fight, a debate on J.D. Vance and his faux Catholicism. I don't even want to go there because I know you guys cannot relate to it. If you're most likely not on the same page as me, because I'm very outspoken and, I'm not your typical chick that walks in. That's, I'm atypical. As sort of, do you think of me as someone that runs around with holy water all over her house saying the rosary? Yeah, well, guess what I am. So, and if I forget, I will just stay up till 2:00 in the morning and do it. And I'm not joking. It's the least I could do. All right, let's continue. So then don't, I know what I'm talking about. Okay. What we do have is a very young, then 23-year-old who claims to be a devout Christian. What does that mean? What does that mean? Where does she go to church? Where does she attend services? At the same place that Nancy Mace goes to? And that Tim Scott guy? These are very progressive churches, and they have very odd belief systems. And again, I believe they are, tax exempt money laundering operations. You have that thingamabob, I can't stand her, Caroline Leavitt. I'd like to know more about her. It would seem to me that almost the entire administration is deep state operatives. And I hate even using that word because you guys are just like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, they're intel. It's like the deck has been stacked and the swamp is so deep it will never be cleansed. I feel like in part it could be Trump getting revenge for all the bullshit that happened to him during 2015, the time he announced that election was for sure taken from him and us. It wasn't taken from him, it was taken from us. Then you have all these disease operations going on and people developing serious harmful drugs in biolabs. I still can't find any evidence that thing even exists. I just can't. Okay, let me keep going. Oh, Kash was married? Seducing a married man. I didn't know he got married. I'm going to have to go further on that. I just don't want to keep going off topic. Okay, so he was married and then she seduced him. Oh, well that's a problem for me. And by the way, what the hell is wrong with Cash's eyes? Is it just me that notices that? There is something wrong. Devout Christian. Seducing. If you're a devout Christian, you don't commit mortal sin. Well, I don't know if you people not even believe in mortal sin, these devout Christian people. When you break one of the 10 commandments, that is a mortal sin. Seducing a man 20 years older than you that is married is a mortal sin. Think about it. Just think about it. 23 years old. Oh God, I was so naive. Oh my God. Whew. No. I hung out strictly with people my own age. And no, there was not one dude that could have had his cake and eaten it too with me. I will tell you that. You know, I had too many guys around the house. My parents were gone. They would take my sister. And no. Did I make out with a few of them every now and then? Yeah. But it was quite secretive. And, I was kind of off limits anyway. But I needed to work on myself at that age, with having an apartment and having a very serious job, which I did. And it was, I will tell you, it was hard. And these people say, I don't drink. I never touched any alcohol when I was working. I did on the weekends, but it wasn't the same as what kids go out today. It was very more mature. Hangouts that it was more of there was quite a music scene, and it was more geared at that time. Anywhere you went was geared toward the new music scene. And I've talked about this before. The Chicago, Milwaukee, Minneapolis circuit was really big then, and pumping out some really good music. And even Chrissy Hind, who was from Ohio, came and played a theater here and discovered a backup band that just used to play at teeny tiny little bars that were just little dumps, without TVs. And, there would be a stereo and there would be 1,000 albums or something, or 500 of them. And I don't think I was allowed. Well, there is one hangout that was a punk hangout that I was at, that I went to whenever. And, you'd pick an album and they'd play it. There weren't jukeboxes. I kind of like that scene. I kind of miss it, where you're just talking about jobs and work and mutual friends and different experiences like that. It's just, life has become, everyone's on their phone. Everybody's watching the 15 big screen TVs that are all around you. And there are times where no, I can't do that. So he was 20 years her senior, romancing him. I'm just trying to relate to someone who is 23 years old and what I was doing and what was this chick doing. She has a bogus bullshit past. This is in our government. She is privy to some of the most sensitive information we have. Standing up on stage singing some national anthem or some crap. Don't even bother anymore singing that. It doesn't even mean anything to me anymore. My dad is rolling in his grave right now when I talk like this, I will tell you that. She romanced the devout Christian, romanced or seduced a married man, Kash Patel, who was 20 years her senior, romancing him into having an affair, which his wife discovered. Oh, what a sleazebag. I didn't know he was that big of a douche. Causing his wife to divorce him. Suddenly, this young girl claims to be an heiress. Ugh. And her career as a country singer is launched. She writes books and becomes a media darling for all the wrong publications, including Dennis Prager. Oh my God. Dennis Prager. Oh boy. I used to listen to his show when I was driving around a lot. Not much. I couldn't even tell you. I mean, I couldn't even tell you what his topic matter was. I think mostly Israel. Okay. He is a far left Zionist who believes that all of Palestine should be mass murdered, and given the slogan from the river to the sea. But this slogan come But did this slogan come from Israel or Palestine, as has been claimed? In October 2023, Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party trolls, between the sea and the Jordan River, there will only be Israel sovereignty. The phrase actually originates in the Bible, Genesis. The Jews consider the phrase anti-Semitic. Palestinians consider it biblical. Suddenly, as Sam Parker from Twitter notes, the seduction and simultaneous rise to fame of Alexis Wilkins looks more and more like a Zionist honeypot infiltration. I tend to agree. Well, she's coming from somewhere, and she's doing something. But she's a devout Christian. This is how the handlers infiltrate. Just ask Kinzinger, who was fleeced by his honeypot, Fang Fang. See, I miss that. And to this day is blackmailed. Kash, newly appointed FBI director, should at the very least conduct a background check on a woman who seduces him into getting a divorce from his wife and makes claims about her heritage that it would appear to have force majeure in reality. The problem with the CIA and deep state Israeli cartel is that they are continually making stupid mistakes, calling into account the reality of their intelligentsia, which would appear to be slack, ignorant, and wholly lame. If I'm just trying to, you're going to insert a shill, it is always best to insert their background identity to support the narrative. But the Israeli cartel is so egocentric, they don't think anyone will bother to investigate the truth and reality, exposing themselves as incredibly incompetent. I mean, I'm not here. I didn't know this was all just an anti-Israel article. I apologize for that. I'm not, because I don't want to sound. I don't go. It's not good to go down that road on YouTube anyway. But I think the problem is much bigger than that. Although it's having one country tend to kind of be possibly controlling your president based on things that he has said and done. It is a bit of a concern. But that's the latest fad in alt media, and I don't want to be part of that. So that doesn't sound really very good, does it? But anyway. So Alexis Wilkins would appear to be a Kash Patel honeypot assigned to be his handler and leak. She has no siblings, her parents don't exist, and her account of her grandparents and great-grandparents has proven to be a creation of fantasy and make-believe. Or did Kash help her to create that very fantasy? I mean, they can create people. I did that. I put up that article or that video on Jim Jones and how he had 2 different passports and traveled to Guyana several times in, I think, the 50s or 60s. I mean, there's all kinds of weird shit going on in this government. And how, under the Carter, that Magignu Brzezinski that was in Jimmy Carter's cabinet, how he was, I know I didn't pronounce that right. I don't care. Anyway, all I did was have to listen to that damn name being reported during his whole damn presidency. When I personally, was in high school, shit was tough. My dad was on edge. My mom was on edge. I mean, it's just, I was on edge because of that, And they had me working. I was working like 4 or 5 different jobs in high school. 2 at the same time. I'm not joking. But I mean, I wasn't getting enough hours. I had to work more. So then I would be forced to quit a job and go on to another one. Where, by the way, my mother would call the manager and explicitly state that I either needed to have Saturday night or Sunday morning off because I had to attend Mass. And she would make arrangements. And they said, okay, I'm talking strict here, people. Oh, don't tell me you're some devout Christian. Yeah, I'm a bitch. Okay. Sorry. Her account of her grandparents and great-grandparents has proven to be a creation of fantasy and make-believe. Kash would do well to consider how this fakery will ultimately impact his own ethics, honor, and responsibility to the American public. That went out the window like he never had any. I mean, I heard him say a couple of sentences. I thought, okay, this guy's all right. I didn't know any more than that. But I was ending my trial too during this whole thing. And in the middle of it, then the election was held. So, you want to talk about stress? Because before the sentencing happened, which was, I can't even, I'm not supposed to be talking about it on social media, or I have to pass it to my attorney. who doesn't communicate with me anyway. Because he doesn't know how to handle my case, because quite frankly, I don't think he likes me. And I don't like him. So now what? I'm 3 years into this thing. So I can't talk about it. But that there was like a week in there, and then the voting day, you know. I had 5 days to get my shit together and sit there, and should I vote? Shouldn't I? Should I? Shouldn't I? And by the way, that did happen. And then I said, yeah, I better. Kamala's weird. We can't have another 4 years of this. But guess what? It's even worse. And I'm speechless. Now, Merrick Garland, who was he Biden's? What the fuck? This shit is just uh, Attorney General. I know Kash is FBI director. I know. He was involved in the Oklahoma City bombing shit under Clinton. His past is weird. All the people in Trump's administration, why the hell he put all those people in those places, I will never know. They all openly hated him. And I remember specifically doing searches back then where the internet was still open and free to an extent. I'm talking 2015, 2016. And this Mark Milley, for example, hated Trump so much, he opened an exploratory committee to see if he could get on the ballot as a presidential candidate. I mean, you have to have support, donors, but you won't qualify to be like a Republican Party or even a Democrat Party person unless you can prove that you have support from X amount of people and this delegates and that. I don't even know how that really works, how you get your name on the ballot. But for example, this Borgum guy, he's literally like AOC's Green New Deal. And he just sits there. Yeah, he's going to try running again. He is horrible. I'm afraid to go back to North Dakota. I used to camp there. You can find some really cool shit there. I'm not joking. It's actually, there is one of the, I think it could even be the first national park, which is called Teddy Roosevelt National Park. It is amazing, or at least it was. But I haven't been there for a while, so it's just unbelievably cool area. Probably destroyed by now. Okay, because I tent camp, and when people are running generators out of big, huge RVs, and they have 15 ATVs, and they're squealing up and down the road, and I mean, I still have sand in the back of my truck. It's covered, but it got in anyway. From being on a road, off of a road in Wyoming, where like they would come by and you'd cover your face and keep your mouth shut, or your mouth would be full of sand. All right, so what I'm trying to say is I really do think that shit's gone, baby, gone. All right, one more. Okay, so it's the same thing. Okay. Well, that's nice. All right. I don't get this Substack stuff, and I don't care to be a part of it. It's just another way for these people to make money. This was not really that interesting of an article. I would have expected more research on this one. Now, well, you know what? On my other computer, I have this. Uh, I really don't like this site anymore either. I think all of these people really have a certain agenda too. Um, Now, I was listening to something on my other computer, so I'll try to bring it up here. I'm just looking at some of these thumbnails here. Um, I'm still not sure about Nick. I go up and down whether he's okay. You know what? I believe he's part of the club too. Let's see if we can get this up. Ugh, where is me volume? All right, here we go.
Story for tonight is about this Charlie Kirk text, which she unveiled. And you know what? To her credit,
What?
whether you want to call it lightning warfare,
I didn't. What were all those signs and
our
symbols?
first big story for tonight
now watch his
is about
hands.
this Charlie Kirk text, which she unveiled.
Oh. Wait a minute. I was somewhere else, but let us listen to this briefly. Watch his hand gestures. Look, see his thumb. When you hold your hand, you go like that with you. I suppose. I mean, there's something wrong with him and his hand gestures. Something's not right.
And you know what? To her credit, whether you want to call it lightning warfare, a blitz, or you want to call it a blitzkrieg and it's a bombardment, whatever you want to call it, however you want to say it.
Yeah, he throws big words in there. He's an ugly little kid, isn't he?
She brought it. She brought the evidence, finally.
What?
And this is all I've been asking for. I said from the beginning.
Okay, so do you believe those AI text messages, Nick? It could have been Erica. I don't believe any of this. This is all vague.
After Charlie Kirk was murdered,
look at his hands.
I said, look, if there's any evidence at all about his change of heart on Israel, about any potential conspiracy,
no,
I would be happy to play a supplemental role. He said, but we need more natively pro-Israel content. We need Israeli content creators and news networks to push this stuff. He said, and I'll help you, but I can't be the primary guy anymore. That's like a very interesting message. He's basically telling Netanyahu,
I don't believe this story, and he's perpetrating it because he's part of it. His attitude has changed. He was just down to earth guy. He got offered the gold coins, the shekels. He was offered the money, and he's more than happy to take it. I mean, he had some weird stuff going on at his house in Chicago. Someone supposedly was there to kill him, and it was caught on video. The person was wearing a helmet on their head. How do we know if that was real or staged? Let's listen to this one. Did you see all the weird symbols, by the way? I believe he's getting talking points too. And everything else, all he talks about is Israel, Israel. I hate Trump, Israel. Trump seat, he's doing Trump must defeat the left. What left? What people, what are we trying to defeat? Everything is so corrupted and corroded right now. There's nothing left. This country is just a small shell of what it used to be. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't listen to this guy. He blocked me on his channel anyway. I don't believe these text messages, you guys. I really don't. I don't believe any of these people. I think they are all paid operatives. See, it's all about Jewishness. It might be fun to listen to oh, he doesn't want to go to McDonald's anymore. Oh, poor baby. Okay, this I wouldn't mind seeing. Let's see if this is real. He's gay AF, by the way. And then he's doing the whole pretend Catholic thing too. He doesn't go to church, but he puts all this stuff up. He's got the either the Nicene Creed or the Apostles' Creed here.
But as soon as people start playing games, I stop. I stop playing games. And at any moment, I can hit that yay button.
Well, he forgot to put down he descended into hell. Oh yeah, he did. It's the Apostles' Creed. All right, let's go. Okay. Well,
can't go back to the past. That's what people always say, isn't it? They say, can we really go back? And the answer is whether you're...
Does this start or is this...
Welcome to the right side of history. Welcome later, deeper in time. Ace, little taste of their own medicine. And let's be honest, this is just straight up revenge.
What?
Trump is...
We're never going back. History of this country, a Christian country.
See, I don't like the way he dabbles in faux Catholicism again. I'm actually quite ticked off by it. I really am.
Lying, which is what a lot of people do, the only way that we're going to be
I don't like him. I think he's a snotty little kid. They all are. And they're not real men either. I don't care if you have a pretend wife.
And I can't talk too much about where...
Oh, see? So he makes you sit there for 4 fucking hours before he comes on with that ugly haircut.
Which was kind of fun. To
go.
Good evening, everybody. You're watching America First. My name is Nicholas J. Fuentes. We have a great show for you tonight. Very excited to be back here with you tonight on Thursday. We have a lot to talk about tonight, lots to get into. Big show. It's good to be back in the studio. I was away for the past few days. Missed half the week, but I did some shows on the road, which was kind of fun. It's been years since I did a show on the road like that, I think.
What do you mean?
And I can't talk too much about where I was and what I was working on.
Of course you can't. Because you were in Virginia getting talking points.
It's another collaboration, but you're not going to see it for a little while.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to see it until next year. Actually.
I have a feeling, actually, Nick, that we're seeing it right now. Scumbag.
But it's good. And it was a lot of work. So I don't know if I'm sick or if my...
You actually worked? Oh, my God. All right, let's go.
Voice is just dead from talking so much, but
your
I'm not feeling 100%. So I'm a little later.
Did you go to Mass during the time you were gone, Nick? Probably not.
I literally just got home.
I don't care.
My friendship with Alex at the airport, and I found it keeps getting better and better. I mean, we're really... I consider him a good friend. So we had a lot of fun on the show this morning. And then I raced over to the airport and I found out...
Look at his thumbs.
My flight was like a half hour earlier than I thought it was. I was totally late.
You didn't check the time of your flight?
I thought it was at 1:15. It was...
Who does this with their thumb? Look at it. Okay.
Like 12:30, so I was screwed. So I was at the air.
He has something wrong with his hands, okay? But I think it's called tardive dyskinesia or something like that. And it's caused by mental health drugs.
Airport all day.
And then you have to take another drug for that.
Like an idiot, and that's not his fault. That's my fault. I didn't know what time my flight was, and so I just got back, and now I'm doing like an idiot. And
okay, now I'm going to go ahead and ask: Does his mouth look weird too?
And that's not his fault. That's my fault. I didn't know what time I was screwed, and I found out my flight was like a half hour earlier than I thought it was. I was totally late.
I'm going to have to move soon.
I thought it was at 1:15. It was at like 12:30, so I was screwed. So I was at the airport all day.
Who could be that off?
Like an idiot, and...
But you're so smart?
And that's not his fault. That's my fault. I didn't know what time my flight was, and so I just got back, and now I'm doing another show.
Oh, that's
so the grind never stops. Generational run never stops. It keeps going. But our featured story tonight, we're going to be talking all about John Bolton, who is...
As my boss in 2000 would say to me, who cares? And then turned and walked away.
Just been indicted in a classified documents case.
Yeah, it's going to go nowhere.
Little tape. Stop it. So I'm in favor of overwhelming force. But anyway, we'll talk all about that. That'll be our main story. Getting ahead of myself a little bit. We're also going to talk tonight about Venezuela. Just like everything else, we're going to war. And the Trump administration has bombed another... for Venezuela. That is on the... For me, a lot of travel.
With the thumb again.
Then I did shows. Doing a show tomorrow. I'm taking a break. Next, it is not Tucker Carlson. It is a different one, but it's another big awaited collab. And I'm not doing a show tomorrow. I'm taking a break. Next week, I'm not going to be here Monday, but we have a long-awaited collaboration on Tuesday night. And before people ask, no, it is not Tucker Carlson.
God, who cares?
Smash the follow button on Rumble.
Oh, my God.
This Daily Wire debate that aired this evening. Oh, my gosh. Guys, they are losing the plot here. And by they, I mean the Jews. They're losing.
Oh, there you go.
They can't help it.
That's all they talk about.
They are in a death spiral. And that's not a dog whistle. I don't mean like they're not capable of doing anything. And their response or criticism, they get angry. Jews or tyrannic goyim at their own crazy town stuff now. You got 4 players left in the game. You got Ben Shapiro, who we all know who that is. You got Andrew Klavan, he's like a mini Ben Shapiro. Jewish, technically a Christian convert, but still extremely Jewish.
What does that mean?
Then you got Michael.
With his hands. What is that?
Knowles and Matt Walsh, two white Catholics.
They're not Catholic. Don't give me that bullshit.
And it is my humble opinion.
Look at this.
That Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh are what is keeping Daily Wire afloat.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Because you remove them from the equation, and Daily Wire's a couple of pro-Israel Jews. That's just what it is. Matt Walsh, but they laugh, and he's a little more philosophical. I would say he's less polemical than Matt Walsh.
What?
Knowles really.
What's wrong with his mouth?
Actually seems like a good guy. Being far right of the 18 to 40-year-old right that is very appealing. Patriotic, nativistic. They educated, smart guy, and he's also very socially conservative.
Watch his hands. I'm going to cut in a minute because this, I apologize. I thought this would be something good, but I thought we might be able to get something out of him, but he's already been bought and paid for too. Watch his hands. Oh, you can't. What is wrong with his thumb? Okay, I'm going to turn the CC off. Something is not right with him. Right there. What is going on with his hand signals? Right there. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. This is, Rumble is gone. Yeah, it's just gone. It's the same bullshit talking points. And I'm going to go ahead and say, these anti-Zionist, anti-Jewish accounts are the latest trend and fad. And something weird is going on. You have Trump doing ABCDE. You have all of Rumble. I don't know how much longer I can cope with this shit. It's all I can do just to keep my shit together here with some of this stuff. Okay.